Hello and welcome to Story Dude, the hottest channel on YouTube, where a team of expert story pickers have scoured Reddit and found the best stories for you.
Am I the asshole for making a scene after my SILs announced their pregnancies at my birthday as a gift? My 24 female boyfriend, 24M, has two sisters, Emily, 30F, and Diane, 32F. They are both married and trying for a baby. Diane announced her first pregnancy at Mother's Day this year. She gifted her mother a baby shoe and a positive pregnancy test. Everyone was happy, and even more when Emily told everyone that she was also trying for a baby. Later that evening, I texted them both saying, "Congratulations, I'm happy for you. It's a bit weird for me and my boyfriend because we recently learned that I'm sterile. I hope I didn't cut the mood, but I'm really excited for you both." They sent me some texts reassuring me and everything went well. Sadly, Diane lost her baby 2 months after this party. Fast forward to last week. We, Mill, both SILs and I, met for a girls' night. My Mill wanted to organize a party for my birthday, so she asked me if that's okay for me and what do I want. I said fine, but birthdays are a though for me. When I grew up, my parents always made my birthdays about them. They never invited my friends or close family. They always invited their colleagues and friends. They had big parties where they drank a lot of alcohol. So after, I wanted to be sure to have a small party with close family, 12 persons, and nothing really big. The party was yesterday. I was helping my Mill when both my SILs and their husbands arrive. They both also brought their in-laws and some friends. So what was supposed to be a small party ended up with more than 40 persons. My Mill was a bit fuming because we had to go buy more drinks and foods for uninvited guests. The party went well until it was gifts time. I opened gift from my Mill and Phil, then one from my boyfriend. It was sweet. Next, my SILs gifted me one small package for them both, which is fine. I asked for small gifts if they were willing to give one. I opened it and it was a S-size shirt. I'm more XL and S, saying, "Best future aunt." There was also, written with a marker pen, X2. The package also contained 2 positives pregnancy tests and a photo of them both touching their bellies. I looked them in the eye, asking, "Are you pregnant?" They both said yes. Emily took the shirt out of my hands and showed it to everyone. As I was starting to cry, I ran outside, my boyfriend following me. I had a panic attack. When I came back, everyone was happy and they were all congratulating the pregnant couples. I felt really sad. My boyfriend talked to his parents and we left the party without saying anything to anybody else. I received, in the evening, some nasty texts from some of my boyfriend's family saying things like, "Why did you ruin their announcement? It was only a birthday party, please grow up, I do feel bad." My boyfriend is planning on telling them to fuck off, but I don't want him to ruin his relationships with his family. My Phil and Mill called me to apologize, saying things got out of hands. Not the asshole, it's your party and you can cry if you want to. I think your SILs both knew that you can't have children, right? Why would they want to co-opt your birthday to make it about them? And then not be compassionate when you got emotional? I don't know if everyone in your BF's family are Oz, but whoever sent you that text about ruining the announcement certainly is. The other ones may just be a little tone deaf. So they learned you can't have kids, and really thought that announcing their pregnancies at your birthday party was a good idea? That is unbelievably cruel. Whether they are intentionally doing it or not, it really sounds like they're rubbing it in your face and expecting, no, demanding you be okay with it. Like, "Oh sucks you can't have kids but we can, so be happy for us, both you and your boyfriend are not the asshole here, everyone else is, especially the SILs." Am I the asshole for treating my adopted children the same as my biological child? Me, 44M, and my wife Amy, 43, have a biological son Ethan, 16, and an adopted son Aiden and daughter Gracie, 16, 12. We adopted Aiden and Gracie 10 years ago. We have been talking about colleges for a while with the boys and they both want to stay together wherever they go. We have college funds for all 3 children with the same amount in, so they will be able to afford to go if they decide to. My mother died and left me a lot of money and I used it to fund their accounts as I thought this was more important than paying off our mortgage that we are comfortably paying each month. The more the boys talk about college, the more Amy gets upset with how much money it's going to cost. This all ended up in a huge argument between us, with her calling me a. She apparently is happy to fund Ethan's college but only part for Aiden and Gracie. I told her this isn't fair as they are all our kids, not just Ethan. He doesn't mean more just because he has our DNA. I told her it was my inheritance and I can do what I want with it, and I wanted to make sure the kids had a good start to life. She said that she deserves stuff too, and me spending all the money on the kids means she doesn't get what she wants. She left a few days ago and I haven't heard anything from her. I thought kids didn't hear the fight, but today Aiden came down and said sorry for causing a fight between us and that he is grateful that I stood up for him and Gracie. My heart went out for him and I said that I will always stand up for him and that I loved him and Gracie. He said I know, but I'm not sure about Mom. So am I the aw? Should I compromise a bit to keep Amy happy? Update. I am putting this on here, but please still keep sending your opinions as you may say something I haven't yet thought of. I will try and answer as many questions as I can. The adoption was her idea, as it was her cousin and his wife that were losing custody of the kids. Sadly, they are no longer with us and haven't contributed to their upbringing at all. I work full-time and pay all the mortgage and bills. She works part-time just for something to do. She keeps her money. This was agreed and is not an issue. I have explained in another comment this situation. The house is in my name as I inherited it from my grandfather. I took out a mortgage to remodel when we adopted the kids. All 3 kids are in therapy. Ethan doesn't necessarily need it, but he felt he was missing out on something, so he goes too. They have group and separate therapy, which was recommended to us. Amy left a few days ago. She is safe with her sister but has not contacted us in any way. I hoped she would at least contact the kids, but no. I don't think I can be with her anymore, as I can't see how she can repair the relationship with the kids. I think her coming back now will be detrimental to their well-being, and it's something I can't risk. In no way will I abandon Amy though. I love her with all my heart, and if there is something going on that I don't know about, then she needs help, and her family abandoning her is going to cause more harm than good. I am willing to support her but not be a couple at the moment. If it's just that she is greedy and selfish, then she can forget about having any kind of relationship with me. I guess I will find out in the next few months. Also, I don't think of Ethan as my biological son and Aiden and Gracie as my adopted children. They are all my kids. Biological and adopted aren't words I use day to day when describing my children. My post was worded this way to make it easier for people to understand. I thought this would have been obvious, but according to the messages I have been getting, apparently not. Thank you for all your comments. I knew I was in the right, but sometimes you just need a stranger to say it and point out some things that you have missed. Not the asshole. Make sure the money is in funds that are tied directly to each child and that your wife doesn't have access. You may even want to talk to a lawyer about how to make sure the money is not touchable in a divorce settlement if it comes to that. I do not trust someone who could think and speak that way about children they have been raising for a decade. Not the asshole. It's absolutely horrible that your wife apparently thinks less of 2 of your kids because they're adopted. What was she like when the topic of adoption came up? Whose idea was it? Not the asshole. Your inheritance to do with as you please. Your adopted children are your children and you owe them just as much of your love and resources. But make sure you are making sound financial decisions. I wouldn't suggest paying off the mortgage early, at least if the interest rate is from 4 years ago, but cover your retirement before children's college. Am I the asshole for telling my sister our stepsister thinks she's not good enough for her fiancé? I have 2 stepsisters and a bio-sister. My bio-sister, Elia, is getting married soon. Our oldest stepsister, Hannah, hadn't met Elia's fiancé until this recent incident, as she lives in Dubai and we live in London. Elia's future in-laws hosted an engagement party for them, which Hannah came here for. Elia introduced her fiancé to Hannah but then had to leave as her fiancé wanted to introduce her to the other guests. After she left, Hannah kept asking us if that was really Elia's fiancé. My other stepsister kept saying, "I know." Hannah kept cracking jokes about how Elia managed to trick him into dating her and how they didn't match as a couple. At one point she said she would have thought he would want somebody more at his and his family's level. At first, I wasn't going to say anything to Elia since I know it would just upset her, and Hannah claimed to be joking, but we're all going to be bridesmaids and I know it's going to come with some nice gifts and at least one free trip, which I don't think Hannah deserves after what she said. I told Elia and she was really upset that she started crying. Her fiancé saw, and now he doesn't want either of my stepsisters at the wedding and has uninvited them from all pre-wedding activities. This has caused a lot of drama in my family and my stepsisters and stepdad are really angry at me. My mum told me that sometimes it's best not to say anything, Especially since I've made Elia feel so insecure that she's trying to convince her fiancé that they should just have a small courthouse wedding. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. The fuck is with all these YTAs? If I was put in the same situation, absolutely I would tell my bio sis the fuck my stepsisters were saying. How cruel and mean of them. We all should be applauding your sis's fiancé not taking their wicked stepsister shit and standing up for her. They're just pissed they aren't going to get free expensive shit. Not the asshole. They were not cracking jokes, they are just jealous of your sister and protecting their insecurities at her. If I were your sister I would want to know and the fiancé did the correct thing by uninviting them, kudos. Not the asshole. She really did deserve to know her bridesmaids were being assholes repeatedly behind her back. What jerks. Have your stepsisters always been mean to Elia? Anyway, I do feel bad for your sister though, but, like I said, she deserved to know despite it being painful. Am I the asshole for making my wife walk to her 200 feet to her parking spot? We live in a townhouse with one garage parking spot. I park my EV in the garage so I can charge it overnight and keep it out of the elements. There are guest parking spots right next to the garage, but when those are unavailable, I request that my wife parks her car, a beat-up 2006 Prius, on the street, which is 200 feet from the garage down an asphalt driveway. She leaves for work at 6 a.m., while I don't work until 8 a.m. Am I the asshole for not letting her park in the garage? Edits. 1. I'm solely financially responsible for both cars. 2. My wife has broken the side mirror and scraped the Prius backing out of the garage on 2 separate occasions. 3. Bay Area, so lows are still in the low 50s. 4. Safe neighborhood with well-lit streets and sidewalks. 5. She agreed to the parking arrangement before the car was ordered. 6. I'm not trying to flex nor trying to be a Tesla bro. Figured you all wanted more specificity. 7. The driveway is shared amongst my neighbors and no one is allowed to park there. 8. I've driven the Prius for 11 years before passing it on to my wife, who drove an even crappier 90s car before then. She's sentimentally attached to the Prius and won't trade it in until it kicks the can. 9. I refer to the Prius as beat up, because it has dents, chipping paint on the roof and hood, and paint transfer from previous run-ins. 10. I walk her out to her car when the distance is not within view of our bedroom. 11. Her commute is 10 minutes inner streets versus my 40-minute highway commute. What in the American is this? First of all, it seems to me that your car is more important to you than your wife, which makes you the asshole, but I also can't understand how anyone would even bother to complain about walking 200 feet, 60 meters, that's really nothing. This entire thing being such an issue that you feel the need to post it on the internet is astounding to me. You are the asshole for being an annoying Tesla bro. If I wasn't 100% sure from the post, your defensiveness in the comments and inability to take criticism makes me think you are the asshole. If you want to brag about owning a Tesla, try a car-related subreddit instead of inventing a story to post on a Mythiashole.